Hey guys, it's Ian here, and today I wanted to talk to you about a behavior and symptom that I constantly work through with my clients, and that is the behavior and symptom of emotional eating or stress eating. And like most symptoms or behaviors that people are experiencing, they are really confusing because people just can't work out why they would do things that are ill-serving to them, why they continue to do things that move them away from where they want to be in life. I constantly hear my clients so frustrated and asking, like, why can't I just stop eating when I'm not hungry? Why can't I just lose the weight? Why can't I just do the things I say I'm going to do? And if it was just that simple, there'd be a lot of happier people in the world. But unfortunately, it's not quite that simple, but it's also not too hard to change if we understand how these habits and symptoms come around, and if we understand the fastest way to change and rectify those behaviors. So first of all, let's discuss what is a habit. Well, a habit is just a behavior that has been repeated so many times that it is now automatic. And the true purpose of a habit is to solve problems in life in the most efficient way and with the least amount of energy. And so it makes us more productive. And so when we have a habit or behavior that is a positive one, it actually lets us become more efficient. So let's just think about something that we do right now every day without thinking about it. So if we think about walking into a dark room, we don't sit there and think about, okay, it's dark, I need light. Where would I get light from? Okay, there's got to be a light in here. There has to be a light switch. We don't go through that process. Literally, before you even entering the room, you're tapping the wall. You know instinctively, habitually, that there's going to be a light switch there. You've done it so many times, you do not even think about it. You could be talking on your mobile with a cup of coffee and you're still going to grab that light switch, even in a room that you've never been in before. So it makes us very efficient. It actually allows us to release energy to be used for other things. It releases brain power, which is fantastic. So the next thing to understand is, well, how are habits formed? Well, a habit is formed by creating what we call a feedback loop. And the feedback loop consists of 4 areas. The first is the cue, the next is the craving, then there's a response, and the reward. Now let me step through each one of these 4 elements and discuss how they work. So the cue is just the trigger to your brain to initiate a behavior. In the case of an emotional eater, let's just say this person's feeling sad, maybe stressed or anxious. That's the cue. That's the trigger that something needs to happen here. Then we have the craving. And the craving is simply the motivation, the motivational force behind doing something. It's the force behind every habit. It is the want and desire to change your internal state. So in regards to this scenario, feeling anxious, feeling unhappy, or a bit stressed, the craving is to change that feeling. I want to feel better. I want to feel happy, less stress, no anxiety. There's a want, a motivation to change a feeling. And then the third is the response. Now, the response is the subconscious pattern of habit. This is the actual habit that the cue and the craving is associated with. Okay, so in regards to this emotional eating, you're feeling anxious, unhappy, sad, you want to change that feeling to a more positive feeling. The association, the habits that we've created for that is to eat. We've done it so many times, we've worked out every time I feel this way and I eat sugary food or fatty food or whatever it is, I feel better. And then the last one, the 4th element to this, is the reward. And the reward is the end goal of every habit. Now, this is the confusing part because in regards to emotional eating and most negative behaviors that we want to change in symptoms, it doesn't feel good for very long. My clients are sitting there saying, why would I do something 15 minutes later? It makes me feel so awful, worse than when I hadn't eaten. right? And this is the really confusing part. But we have to remember that this is a subconscious issue, and the subconscious mind is not there to make you happy or do what's right or wrong for you. It does what it believes is going to keep you safe, and most importantly, move you away from pain. So from a subconscious mind's point of view, it's job done. So how do we create change? Well, when I'm working with my clients, we change these behaviors through the use of hypnosis. See, it's not so much the cue and the craving that we want to worry about right now, it's the response. So through hypnosis, we go and work out at what point, what event took place or events took place that associated that feeling and the craving to change that feeling to that habit, in this case, the eating. At what point, what event made this person feel that every time they feel anxiety or pressure or stress or sadness, what event took place that showed them and educated them that eating sugary foods or any sort of foods or overeating made them feel better? Okay, it's never about just the habit, it's always the event that took place and the meaning that we associated with that habit. So once we go through hypnosis and we understand that event and that experience that is hardwired now and programmed in their subconscious mind, we can easily and effortlessly change that experience. So the next time this happens, there's a conscious awareness. There's almost an awakening of, hang on, something needs to change here. It is a very strange feeling. Clients will tell me for the first time working with me, but there is almost a stop. Once I have that cue, there is now a subconscious almost block, a red flag going, hang on, we've got a choice to make here. And then what we do over the weeks is simply reinforce this new pattern of habit, this new program in the subconscious mind with repeatable actions. Very small actions. So it might be we reprogram that when you're feeling sad or anxious, you go and make a nice cup of tea or coffee. If you're feeling anxious or unhappy about something, you go and take a nice long walk, or go and exercise, or put on some music. It is really that simple. We just change the association, the habit with the cue and the craving. Once we can do this, we can start creating that new habit. Just as we said before, a habit is just something that's been repeated over and over and becomes automatic. So once we can really hardwire that new program to do things differently, once they get that cue, this is where lasting change occurs, and that's what we're after. So if we change a habit associated to a cue, the reward is going to be very, very different. So guys, I really hope this explains exactly how habits are sort of formed and why we do things that, again, are not always a positive action in our life, but we can definitely change the way we operate. And using hypnotherapy is definitely the fastest way to initiate long-lasting change. And then through some repetition and making sure that we really baby and cradle those new experiences and thought patterns over a very short time, we hardwire those changes, and now we have a very positive habit. So guys, if you have any questions, please leave me some comments below. If you have any issues that you want to discuss with me, please get in contact with me. And as always, guys, I really hope that this became of some value to you. And remember, guys, when you change your mind, you change your life. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.